Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to prepare reference images in Gimp and export them out of Gimp to set up reference planes in Hexagon. This particular image I got from theblueprints.com. You can get this image and other images there to use as reference for free. Just need to sign up, and there's no membership fee. It is free. They do have some paid images, I believe, which are vector images. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, this tutorial is not exactly about setting up human reference images, but just images in particular. So let's go ahead and if in fact this was an image you were going to use to set up your human reference image, I'll just run through this right quick. You would need to make sure that these images line up. I will do another tutorial on preparing human reference images later, but one thing you would definitely want to do is just drag some guidelines out and make sure the eyes line up, and maybe the top of the shoulder, the bottom of the chin, and make sure that they're lined up the best you can, so the main features of the body are lined up. But anyway, this tutorial is not about that, so let's go ahead and drive on. Okay, I'm going to choose my rectangle select tool. I'm going to drag a selection around the front view, or the front image. And then I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to copy, and then go back to edit, go down to paste as, new image. Okay. Now let's go back to our first image here, and I'm going to hold my control key down and use the mouse wheel to zoom out a little bit. And with a rectangle select, I'm going to select the side view, go back to edit and copy, and then I will go to our new image here, and I'm going to go to edit and then go down to paste as, and this time we'll paste as new layer. Okay, that paste that right on top of our new image. Okay, next thing we want to do is go up here to our alignment tool, and after we choose our alignment tool, we're just going to click on this layer, and then you have the tool options here, and under distribution I'm just going to distribute horizontal and distribute vertical. Okay. And now I'm going to create a new layer, and I want that new layer to be white. Okay. And with that new layer, it's on top now. With that new layer selected, I'm just going to use arrow keys here under the layer in the layer manager, and I'm just going to move that to the bottom. And on the top layer, which is our side view, I'm going to click the little eyeball icon here, and I'm going to hide that top layer so only the front view is visible. And then I'm going to go to File, I'm going to export that and export it to wherever you want. You may have want to set up a folder with these images in it and keep all your Hexagon file and everything in there so it's all together. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to save it to my desktop. Most generally, I prefer to use a JPEG. So let's go ahead and we'll just name this front. I'm going to hit enter and I'm going to crank up my quality to 100. Just export that out to the desktop there. And then I want to go back to my layers panel here, and I'm going to hide the front view, and I'm going to unhide the side view, and then we'll go back to file. We're going to export that out, and we'll just name that side. We'll also export that out to the desktop. Okay, that's it on setting up the reference images. Let's go ahead and close this up and hop over into Hexagon. Okay. Now, if you don't have your material panel open, you can use the little, I don't know, the little click thingy there. And what I like to do is just grab my material panel and just drag it and then close that back up. Okay, we will use that here in a little bit. Okay, another thing that we need to do is get the dimensions from our image. If you don't have an image viewer, I do highly recommend the fast tone image viewer. The current version is 4.6, and I really like this image viewer. Anyway, I've got the front view selected here. I'm just gonna hit enter, and I can see that the dimensions, the width is 2508 and the height is 2272. So we're going to need those dimensions. So 2508 is our width. So let's go ahead and grab a cube, drag it out, and let's go ahead and set our, well, I'll tell you what, let's go to face selection and let's grab a front face here, and then I'm going to tap I on the keyboard, and which inverts the selection, and then I'm going to delete all those other faces. And then this face, we're going to, the X will be our width, and we need to set that to 20, let's see, what was it, 2508. Now don't worry if this is huge at first, because we will scale it down after we get our aspect, our height and width set. Okay, now our height was 2272, and that will be the y-axis. What was that? It was 2272. 72 and hit enter. Okay, as you can see, that image plane is huge, but that's okay. We have our dimensions down, so we can go ahead and scale it on down here. Set that there, drag it back a bit. Okay, now we need to open our materials panel, and create a new material. And for the name, since this is going to be our front view, let's just go ahead and name it front. And then underneath that, we need, you can see a little drop down menu here that says color. What we want to do is click that drop down menu, go to text or image, and we'll choose our front view. And we want to put, as you can see, the image is there, but it's not displayed properly, and we'll need to do something else here in a minute. So we need to flip vertically, and sometimes Hexagon delays a little bit in doing that. So let's collapse our material, and then we need to go to the UV and Paint tab, and we'll just go ahead and use a planar projection. And you can see that now we have our image mapped to this plane. So let's just validate. And now we need to set up our side image plane. You could create another cube if you wanted to, and then use the dimensions from this plane for the height and width. But what I like to do is use my facet tool to create another one, image plane that's the same dimensions as this. First thing we need to do is make sure that this is this plane is not selected before we choose our facet tool. I'm going to activate the facet tool, and then I'm going to use my shift key, and I'm going to snap to these corners, drawing out a new plane. And when I get all four corners done there, I'm just going to hit enter and then validate. And then we'll grab our new plane, and we'll just begin to rotate it. And as I start to rotate it, I'm going to hold my shift key so it snaps incrementally. And then I'm going to go to the Utilities tab, and I'm going to use the Snap Align tool. Click that, and then I'm going to choose Snap this bottom corner to the side corner here. Okay. Let's go. Our grid is getting in the way, so let's just go ahead and go to the scene and go to the properties panel and hide those grids. Okay, now we'll need to create a new material for our side image plane. We'll just say new, and let's go ahead and name this side. And then we need to choose our image, and we'll grab our side image. And of course it is not mapped yet, so you're not going to be able to see it. It's there, but it's not mapped. So we need to go back to the UV and Paint tab and use planar projection and validate. And there you have it. Your reference images are set up. Another thing I like to do is probably should name these planes. We'll name this one front, and we'll name this one side. And then I like to select both of those and in the scene panel here, and then we'll just right click on those and we'll group them, and then we'll name this group reference. And then you have a little lock icon here, and that will freeze the object or this group so it can't be selected. So we'll go to the orthographic view, and then you can use a cube or whatever to start creating your object. Okay, the only issue in Hexagon with doing this, I have my cube here, and if I go into the wireframe view, which you will need to work in the wireframe a lot unless you want to activate the transparency. But sometimes you just want a pure wireframe. This is what happens if you go into wireframe. Okay, as you can see, you won't be able to see your reference images anymore. So a workaround for this is we're going to set a material for our object here, and we're just going to say new material, and we'll just call that, I don't know, in this case we'll just name it man. Don't know why, I'm just going to do it. Okay, now to switch back and forth to wireframe, you have of course your name here, and then color, specular, spread, and transparency. So anytime you want to switch to wireframe, you can just drag your transparency slider all the way over, and then you can work in wireframe mode. Okay, to switch back to a solid view, you just move your transparency slider back down, or maybe you want to just keep it semi-opaque. Anyway, that's how to set up use reference planes and set them up. So now I want to show you the other way to do this. Let's go ahead and delete our reference images there, and we'll go under scene panel here, and we want to, under the properties tab, is you have three icons here, and what we'll use is the left grid to set up our side view. Just click there and side, and put a check mark in the side view, and it will project the image onto the side grid. Same thing with the front. Choose load your image, and then put a check in the checkbox to load it into the front view. But now, drawback to that, sometimes the image dimensions of your image will be, your image can be well, I'll tell you what, let me just show you. Let's just uncheck this and choose a different image here. Let's go to desktop, and I'll go to some of my reference pictures, and we'll just choose this one here. Oh, I put that in the side view, didn't I? What's going on here? Hexagon trying to mess up on me. Okay, there we go. Okay, you can see that when you don't use the image planes, your image will automatically go to the top of the grid, and most generally don't want that. But anyway, I think this tutorial's been plenty long enough. I hope you did learn something. I tell you what, instead of creating another tutorial, I just want to go ahead and show you something else that um, in Hexagon really doesn't have anything to do with setting up reference images. Um, but I want to show you about windows. You have immersive, normal, and customize. Uh, that's generally I usually work in the customize, but this is actually something I just discovered the other day. F6 will give you all the workspace you want, and I do work in this full screen mode quite a bit. F8 take you back to the custom setup, and F7 is the something that surprised me the other day. Okay, here is an additional toolbar here with access to some tools that you have you have access elsewhere. These working planes are accessed under the scene menu, but if for some reason you want to access them through this toolbar, you can find them right there. Also, you have some icons for select next object, and you remember when I used the invert selection, I used the shortcut key I. Well, you have that invert selection here, and the one and over, and then the unselect all, and then you have some, what are those? I don't remember what they are. Convert selection to points, convert selection to edges, convert selection to faces, and convert selection to borders, which most of those can be accessed here and also through the context menu. But that was F7. Let's see, wasn't it? F7? Yeah, F7 to pull up that extra toolbar there. So anyway, hope you have a great day. Be sure to subscribe, and I hope to have some Blender tutorials up before long. Also, this shotgun image here is a tutorial that I will be working on very soon, creating a low poly shotgun. So anyway, be sure to subscribe and like this video. Have a great day.